Well, we will all keep your mother-in-law in our prayers, dear. And you
Thank you.
breathe deep, trust in God. It'll be good.
Yep.
Um, so the reason I asked those questions is because I talked about this last week and I just wanted to drill it home one last time. I promise I won't say anything anymore. I just want to make sure that it's absolutely clear because you guys are the ones who, out of everybody on the team right now in my upper levels, you have something you want out of this business. And so I feel like as a somebody who's been around for 8 years, it's my responsibility to make sure that y'all know at least the key components of making that happen. Because this issue that I'm talking about, which is time, it's, I would say, right up there with belief. And the two of them kind of go hand in hand. And if you lack either one of them, time management and belief, or time commitment and belief, the desire of getting to where you want to go. Sorry, I just remembered I forgot to put something on my notes to say tonight. The idea of getting where you want to go is not going to happen. It's just that black and white. And I don't usually say things like that very often, but that's why I wanted to be really clear. So when you think about like today, if you think about all the things that you did today. So right now, Ashley, you're making cinnamon rolls because the cinnamon rolls have to be done by a certain time frame because you're going camping on Wednesday, and that's just the way it is. It's got to be done. And um, and if you think about any of the other things that you did today, if you stopped to feed your children, you took a pet out to go to the bathroom, right? Like these things absolutely have to be done no matter what, or you're going to have urine on your floor. Your kids are going to starve to death. The Health and Human Services is going to knock at your door, right? You guys know where I'm going with this. It's like just absolutely mandatory. And so you would never get to 9 p.m. at night and have somebody say to you, did you feed your children today? And the answer would be, I didn't get to that. Same thing if you had a locked up pet, right? You would never get to 9 p.m. and say, did you take your pet out for a 5-minute walk so that they could urinate? Like the answer would never be no, because then you'd have pee all over your house, right? That level of, I know it sounds silly, but maybe I'm trying to be silly. I'm trying to be so drilling it home about how all these things happen in your life that you have as must haves and such high justifications as to why they must happen, right? Urine on your carpet is pretty high justification to make sure your dog goes out to the bathroom, or your pet goes out to the bathroom. That's the same level of dedication you have to have with these 5 new messages. And the other questions I was going to follow up, in case you all said, yes, I did my 5 new messages. I was going to go down the list. Did you do your 5 new follow-ups? Did you add to your network? Did you post to social? And did you learn something new? Did you watch a 10-minute video or read a book? Each and every one of those are so incredibly important to rank advancement. And when you think about your day, this is a huge problem when people try to do this business because it's a side business. So when people walk into it, and I know this is maybe old hat for some of you to hear this, but I just think that it can't be said enough. And it's a great way to launch what we're doing here right now. Because if we can't get past the idea of taking that time each day and prioritizing it up here, when people bring in a side gig, the mentality is it's a side gig. So every single other thing, I have to make time for that. I have to make time for that. I have to make time for that. Like that just goes on and on and on every single day with all the things that stack up. And the side gig never gets down to that list for so many people. And that's why when you look at people in network marketing, and people are like, oh, it doesn't really work because nobody, you got thousands of people doing this, and you got this tiny percentage of people that make it to the top. This issue of the time thing and the commitment and the organization. And that's why I said it goes along with belief. It's usually a belief issue of like, I believe I can get to Ruby by the end of October. And I believe it so much. I know it with the bottom of my heart, know every cell in my body. And you believe it so much that you will not let a day go by without getting these things done, because you know that's the pathway to get there. And so that's why the belief goes hand in hand with the time management and the organization and that commitment. And as I was saying, so many people never take that step and say, I see it, draw my line in the sand, I'm going after it. And therefore, I will not let a single day go by without these things happening. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope I was able to do so without it seeming like lecture-y. That's not what I'm trying to do for you guys. I just wanted to point out how like we are able to make time for things that are important for us. And even like you just said, Gwen, and Ashley, actually, I think every one of you said, yes, I had something happen to me in the last few days that was unexpected and I made it fit into my schedule. So that's the reason I asked that question, is like, that's a great point to be made. It's like when the house is burning down, you will stop everything that you're doing and you will adjust your schedule and you'll get a hose. And like that same mentality has got to be for this business too. You can't leave the door open for, well, I'll get to it tomorrow. This came up, then that came up, then this came up, and all the things that come up always push Plexus down below. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. So that's the only thing I really want to ever throw at you guys in a way that is like teaching on a Monday night, because I really want this to be about you guys coming together cohesively, helping each other grow and leading each other. And I just want to be here as a support system. But that one area is so dang important that I wanted to make sure I was really clear on it before we moved forward. Are you guys okay with that? I hope so. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is just a reminder that with time management and organization, there's a lot of tips in the guide section for this. And if you need more, I can shoot you more. There's videos and so forth. I have links to things on this if you need more help with it. The next thing I want to talk about is launching a new ambassador, but I only want to do that if you guys think you need help with that. And then we talked about you guys working, as accountability partners. And so I kind of wanted to open up the platform or whatever and ask if you guys have thought about that. Like, how do you see yourselves working together as accountability partners? Or have you thought about like a game plan to check in with each other? I know like I don't think anyone on this call, I think it was Casey I was talking to. So I am chatting with a diamond right now who's doing a diamond accountability group with the vice president of sales, Genevieve Scory. And they have to check in with each other once a day. And then there's like this long list of things that they have to do. It's basically an IPA. I can get you exactly how it is written out by Genevieve. I have all of it verbatim from Genevieve. So if you wanted to see that and you wanted to hook up together and say, hey, yes, this is what I want to follow. Who wants to follow this with me? And let's check in with each other on the daily. And that's definitely an option for you. Did you guys have it in mind? Like you were just going to check in weekly on Monday nights? What were you guys thinking?
We don't have a game plan yet.
Okay. Does anyone want
to? I'm wondering if, what do you suggest? Because she's getting ready to go out of town. Start one when she comes back.
Up to you guys. What do you guys think? Ashley, what do you think?
That sounds good. We can get started, and I can even we're going to South Dakota, so I have a long drive there and then a long drive back. You know, on the way back, we can kind of get a game plan too, or even start it on the way there.
Can you work in the
I
car?
missed the first part of it, huh?
Can you work in the car? Can you guys work in the car?
Mhm.
Oh my, it's terrible.
Sometimes.
I can't do it.
It makes me
Little
nauseous
tiny bits.
sometimes.
Even if I'm in the car for 12 hours, I cannot focus. But anyway, go ahead. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Nope. I just hook up my Wi-Fi, and that's when I'm planning on getting a lot of the stuff I have not been doing the last couple of days. I'm going to do on our long drive. So,
Yeah.
get caught up on some of my stuff. But yeah, I missed the first part of the call last time, so I wasn't sure if anything had been really decided except for just doing Power Partners. So I can definitely get with you, Gwen, and we're leaving Wednesday, and I know you'll be at work, so I can message you, we can get something laid out. But I would like to have I like the idea of having someone accountable for, hey, did you get this? Did you get this done? Because you know someone's going to check on you type of thing.
Mhm.
And it's that's it's like I always have this huge list of things that I have to get done, and just knowing, I think that in the back of my mind with the other things that I have to do. Like you said, the kids rely on you for certain things, my employees rely for certain things. So I know
Yeah.
I have to get those done. So I think having someone hold me accountable on that side, because it is easy to push Plexus. I'll get to it
Mhm.
tonight, and then it's 9:30 and you're like, oh my gosh, now I got to sit down. And so I think that will be good.
I did not get my new messages. I got out a crap load of messages today, but brand new people I didn't do till 15 minutes before the call. So, I mean, it even happens to me. It's just making sure that you actually do it. But
Yeah, I think
You're-
as part of my IPA, I got everything done except for the new messages,
which is common.
but
Very
everything else I got covered.
And Ashley, you, I feel like, are an exceptional candidate for an accountability partner, because I will just tell you, Gwen, so that you definitely can hold her to what she says. When it comes to a contest like Leaders Retreat, every other part of the year, she can see, she's laughing already. She can like, I don't know if I'm gonna work hard right now. Maybe I'll work hard here, and she'll have ups and downs and whatever. But when it comes to Leaders Retreat, and there is cash on the table and prizes on the table and a trip for her husband, you better doggone know it. She is showing up, no excuses, which just proves to her and that she's capable. We are all capable. So if you stick to it, Gwen, she will show up. She's got that attitude. When she wants it, she goes after it. That's a
Yep.
good thing.
So I
Good thing.
convention,
good.
there's always different things. Like I always wanted to get to winner's dinner, and all up there, and I would, it was like, it's like there was a goal. I don't know. I guess it's different than like a rank goal, but it's like a goal that you keep trying to meet, and then you meet the next one, and then you meet the next one. And I think I guess it's that challenge. I don't know, that my personality with that challenge somehow, that it's kind of focusing on different goals.
Does success sprints work the same way for your mind, psychology wise?
It does. I don't think it quite does like convention contest, or I mean, I try to reach each goal, but I think part of it with the convention contest is like, or Leaders Retreat, is you're going to go with all of your friends and do this, and then get the cash to pay for it to go. And so that kind of pushes it. But I know there's a lot of cash with the success sprints and this stuff going on right now too. So, but a lot of that is me and my schedule, and not, prioritizing this. I mean, I know that. So
I have some comments on that. What I think maybe Annie can comment on this, but I know Gwen can. So Gwen, what do you think between seeing what happens at a Leaders Retreat contest and success sprints? Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I was going to say I went hard for that dryer and I got it the last quarter.
All right, cool. I like that.
I guess I probably at the time in the last quarter went harder for the dryer than I did for Leaders Retreat. And now we're in the third quarter, but Leaders Retreat is getting closer. And all you have to do is be Ruby, right? Not Senior Ruby.
Well, the leaders retreat that we're doing is within so many teams. It's not corporate wide, but yes, you just have to be Ruby, which you definitely can
Okay.
do.
I was thinking corporate leaders retreat.
There is no corporate leaders retreat,
Okay. That's what I thought I had heard.
but both you and Ashley absolutely can take yourselves to Ruby. But this whole idea of messaging new people every day and being just adamant with your new messages, follow-ups, social, and growing your network, like that has got to be very, very intentional every single day. If you do that, and then the last little thing, it's just a tiny, just a little thing. The duplication, it's just little.
Yeah.
You get that going and Ruby's in the bag. We're going to talk about that before we end. Annie, were you around for Leaders Retreat? Like, meaning like actually involved enough to know what was going on?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I earned Leaders Retreat, and it wasn't by any of my efforts. It was that I first joined and then everyone kind of wanted to join. So I kind of got lucky that I made Leaders Retreat. Like, I don't feel like I worked hard to get it. Like, I didn't even know, like I didn't really know much about it or anything.
And do the prizes for Success Sprints make you geared up at all?
Yes. I think what's more of a goal for me is hitting a certain rank that our family's almost $900 worth of products is paid for.
Okay, good to know. Marcy,
We order so
definitely
much,
haven't really been around for Leaders Retreat, but just out of curiosity, what are your thoughts on Success Sprints?
I think as far as how I feel personally on it, they didn't have too much of an impact on me as much as me and my next goal, my next level.
Okay. Yeah. So all I was going to say, Ashley, is that I guess it all comes down to your personality style, because as long as I've been in this business, they've had these trips. And when they took Leaders Retreat away, maybe it's just because I was so used to it. It felt like sad. To me, it felt sad because what Ashley was saying is like, when you get to the end of the prize, you get to go on a trip with your friends. And to me, that was like so different than just working towards a prize that you get. When you work towards Leaders Retreat, you got an experience with your friends that was like over the top, like incredible experience. And technically we can all save up and go buy a blow dryer or something like that. It's out of what we normally would buy. So I understand that, but you can't replace the experiences. And so like that part of it, I was kind of disappointed that they took it away, but
Yeah, I was too.
yeah. So we'll see. Maybe they'll bring it back. I think they're testing the waters on different things still. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I hope you guys can see that. They've been testing the waters on things for the last 4 or 5 years. It's been a lot of changes, and we obviously have more coming, and all of it's in order to give us the best end result. But I think in the meantime, while we're having growing pains, is what I always call them, as we try to test out these new things, it can be like, wow, what are we doing now? So it's always good to hear what you guys think of the different ideas like Success Sprints and what it does for you in terms of motivation.
I thought it was gone because of COVID, so that's not the case this year.
I think originally maybe that was the case, but what they're really looking at doing is layering our processes with our contests and creating uniformity. So the Success Sprints, remember, it capitalizes on itself. So whatever you did in first and second quarter, let's say the team that you grew in first and second quarter, if you can keep those people turned on and active, those people are going to work for you towards your points in quarter 3. So they're building and they're trying to instill in you the idea of this is a growing process. This isn't go out and sell a product and then forget about your customer and they fall off and now you go get another customer kind of thing. It's you have a corporation, you bring people on, you serve them well, you teach them the processes. The ones that want it will pick up those processes. Your team will grow even more. As you do that, you're going to get awarded not only by the comp plan, but by the success sprints, which is built to align with the process of bringing 3 people on, duplicating them, maintaining the first 3 people, growing your team, maintaining those people, creating the duplication. Hence the 369 being incorporated into the 3rd quarter as part of the contest. They're connecting all those dots and trying to keep it so that every person has an opportunity to earn and win something throughout the entire year, and it's always based on our process. That's the concept behind that. So, I mean,
Good
already,
explanation. Thank you.
you're welcome. And already in 3rd quarter, in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd quarter, they've changed a lot. If you saw like your point, the prizes in 1st quarter to me were better than prizes in 2nd quarter. Prizes in 3rd quarter are ridiculous, off the charts, but the points are much higher for what you have to gain to earn the prize. So you can see they're still tinkering with like what's going to be a happy place for us to land on all of this. So we'll see. Okay, that kind of got a little bit off track, but that was a good conversation. It's always good for me to know too, because I can take you guys' thoughts back to corporate, and they want to know. They want to know what you guys, I mean, whatever motivates you is what they want to be doing. Okay, so I have a couple more things to talk about, but they're fast. So I'm going to go back to the duplication thing and launching your people, because besides belief and time management, launching your people for duplication is absolutely essential. And I think that if we can master launching alongside or utilizing the live calls, you guys are going to see ridiculously explosive growth. It's going to be not necessarily obvious in the beginning, the first 30 days that you guys do this, but I am going to really encourage you guys to go absolutely crazy with committing yourselves to launching people with the live calls. Even if the first month looks, maybe you don't get the response you thought. Maybe the way that you're launching your people, the verbiage, the language you're using to connect them with the live calls has to get adjusted over those first 30 days. So not as many people tune into it. Maybe they listen to it, but then they won't invite people. What you need to do with a concept like this is marry it and master it, and trust that once you've got it kind of licked down pat, it takes a little bit of time, right? No matter what you do, the first few times that you do it, it's going to be awkward, whether you're shooting a free throw shot at the basketball court or you're talking to somebody about watching a live call. So the importance is to be committed to it and do it over and over and over and over. And eventually you're going to see the wheels start turning, and you're going to see your team responding to you, and they're going to get excited. They're going to invite friends. Then you're going to repeat that with their friends. To this whole concept of them tuning into these live calls, inviting their friends tune into the live calls, invite more friends. And so I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of my notes on this, and then we can talk more about it if you need to. I'm happy to write up language that you guys might need written up for these, how this would look and so forth. But what I wrote down was, you get a new ambassador. The first idea is to invite them to watch a live call. And you can do this on multiple ways. Like I just had somebody, one of the girls that signed last week, she is somebody that's brand new. So I opted not to go straight for, hey, we've got this great business opportunity, or hey, we've got this great referral program, because I really have not talked to her much at all, really at all. And so instead, I just said something more along the lines of, I'm really excited for you and your husband to get started. She contacted me because her husband was diagnosed with diabetes, and so he wanted to start on the pink drink. I talked her into a $99 welcome pack so that she could take the MetaBurn and the lean, and we got the whole package going. But I said, I'd love for you to see more about what our products do and how they work. You can hop on a live call every day, 9 p.m. and noon and 9 Eastern, and that was on Friday. And actually, I need to follow up with her tomorrow. So I haven't done a follow-up. She did not respond to that. But I will be talking to her more about, she already got the PDF on how to take the product. So I'll be talking to her about that part of it when she, like tomorrow, I'll probably say, did you get the product yet? That kind of thing. And I'll tap back into that, still trying to get her on the live. So my first goal is get her on the live to watch it. When after she does, then I'll do a follow-up. Hey, do you by chance know anybody that you can think of that would really benefit from these products? These calls are every day. And I'm going to wait for her to respond. Then I'm going to say, every day at 9 and noon, would you like to reach out to somebody and see if they'd like to take a listen? And we'll go from there. So that's that option. But if it is a, maybe let's say it's somebody that's more closer related to you, you've been talking to them, or their friends or family or what have you, I would just say, hey, your products are on the way. We have these amazing live calls. I really want you to hear what the success stories people are having on these products and a little bit more about the products. Which day works for you at noon or 9 p.m., Monday through Thursday, and noon on Friday? Which day works for you? You're not even asking them if they will hop on. You're just saying, I really want you to see this. What day works for you? It's kind of like assuming the sale when you're closing a deal. You're just going to assume that they're going to follow your lead. And you know what, guys, if they know you, odds are they're going to pick a day because they want to appease you. So have them do that. And then you're going to say, I'll send you the link an hour or so before the call. That is your opportunity to give them a reminder and to drop them the link, right? But really, it's all about giving them a reminder and checking in. At that point in time, it's going to be, I can't wait to hear what you think of these products. Super excited for you. Once and I will check in with you at 8:30 or 9:30, because let's say the call's at 9 Eastern, right? I'll check in with you at 9:30 to see what your thoughts were or whatever. And then when you check in, you can just ask them what part of the call stood out to you most. Okay. And you can kind of take it from there. Then it's like, did you by chance give any thought to somebody that you knew who was interested, who would benefit from these products? And you can go from there. Now, if you're launching a brand new person who, hold on a second. Okay. So use the explanation I just gave to you. Did you by chance think of somebody that would benefit from these products? And they say, yes, I did. Hey, how about doing a quick reach out to them? I can give you a quick invite for you to send off to them, reach out to them, see if they'd like to take a listen. And they do that. So I'm going to digress and talk to you guys about another option here too. But let's start with this first one. So they say, yeah, I'll be willing to do that. Okay. Let's fast forward. The person says yes. You coach them on how to say the calls are at noon and 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Which day works best for you? All of that gets coached with them. An easy way to do this, you guys, is if they say, yeah, I know somebody. Oh, well, would you be up for reaching out to them to see if we could help them as well in benefiting from these products? They say yes. Perfect. Here's the message. If you get a yes from somebody, let me know. That's the perfect way to coach somebody, because instead of saying, once they say yes, tell them this. Once they say yes, people get lost with all of those directions, right? So, hey, just shoot this message out to your friends. And if you get a yes, let me know. Boom. Then you've got them right working with you, which is how we like to do our business. And then you can just say, okay, here's the link. Or, first question is, when can they look at it? The person tells them yes, then tell them you'll follow up with the link on this day. And you're just coaching that person right next to them all along the way. You're also going to coach them all the way to after the call, message out to them, ask them what part of the call stood out to you most. And when the person responds, let me know what they say with the response. So you don't have to tell them what to say after that until they tell you this is what they said. And then you can coach them right through like you would a three-way call. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Does that sound like a feasible way for you guys to duplicate using the live calls? Do you like that idea?
Yeah, sorry, I was shaking my head.
No, it's fine. I just want to make sure, like, I don't want to dictate, but this is what you should do, but it's just an idea to open the conversation.
I think I've only gotten one person on my team to actually tune into one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a whole lot easier if you do this right from a launch than it
Right.
necessarily is going to be from your team that's already existing. Not that it can't be done, because it can be, but when another way to word it, for instance, with right from a launch is, hey, you're all signed up, your products are in the mail. The next thing most people will do is tune in to our live calls. People love these. They're every day from this time to this time. Which day this week could you tune in? So then it's the whole idea, like, this is just the next step. This is the next step. Everybody does this. They all tune into the live calls.
Well, and I have a girl who's been talking to me, it's probably been like 6 months on and off. She'll like send me a random message. But I've been talking to her for the last couple of days. I went to school with her. And when I told her about the call, she's like, oh, I just watched it. It's on Instagram. So are they just running on Instagram? Like, I don't have Instagram, so I don't know anything about it. But
I've never heard of that.
yeah, I sent her the link and she's like, oh, I just watched that. So, I mean, I don't know if she's lying or not.
I would have asked her a specific question to see if she was lying and had her, ask her, have her tell you what it was that the
I don't
call
even know
was
what
about.
Instagram's like about. So I didn't know if I don't even know if it's just like pictures, like what is, I don't know.
I didn't know it was on Instagram either.
I have
I'll
Instagram,
ask.
I haven't seen it.
I'll
You hadn't
ask.
seen it, Marcy? She might be lying, Annie.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not
she
saying
lives
she
in
is.
California. She said she's been following somebody on Instagram that does Plexus. But I think I had Messenger first, like months ago. So
Maybe it was just a random video that she caught and thinking that it was the same thing. I don't know.
And
I didn't know
Plexus does have
I didn't know
a,
if Plexus has an Instagram, like they probably do.
that's what I was just saying. Do they? Plexus Worldwide, like Facebook page?
I can't imagine that they don't.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it, so I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Or I know they have an Instagram account. I just don't know if, I would be really surprised if these live calls were on there, but maybe. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to boil right now. We still don't have air conditioning in this house.
Oh my gosh.
I know, we get it on Friday finally.
Good.
Okay. So as much as I wanted to impress upon you guys the whole time commitment thing, this launching of your newbies on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all confident and 10 being super confident, who here is confident that they can accomplish what I just suggested? Scale of 1 to 10, where are you at?
10 was good, you said?
10 is, I'm there. I can duplicate my team that way. Nobody's business. I'm there.
I'm confident in launching somebody and doing what you just said. I wrote it down in bullet points because you know me and bullet
Yep.
points.
You're confident in watching somebody do it? Is that what you said?
No, in launching
Perfect.
someone and then doing it. I wrote like 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Invite them to an opportunity call. And then in parentheses, what day time works best for you? 2, send a reminder for the call. 3, follow up after the call. 4, ask them, did they think of anyone else? And then go from there. And if they say yes, okay, what day and time works for them?
Mm-hmm. And then you're
Is
going
that
to
right?
coach them. Then you're just going to keep coaching them as that person watches it. Tell them to ask that question. What part of live did you like so much? And then coach them from there. Yep. The other part of this, the other way that you can respond to your brand new people is the next thing that's everyone that signs, everyone that gets started does is watch a live video, live call. These are so amazing. They have success stories, talk even more about our products. And I love for people to see them because we have an amazing referral program where you can easily reach out to anybody you know that would benefit from these products and share the call with them. It's every day. It will continue to be every day. They can hop on, take a listen. If it works for them and they decide to move forward and do this with you, you can earn yourself hundreds of dollars on a referral program, and that will help you get your products paid for. So you can add that part of it back into that initial invitation too. So run with it, like practice. Don't worry about fumbling something up. I mean, everything's fixable, you guys. Nobody else answered, by the way. Where's everybody else at on a scale of 1 to 10? Annie, go.
Maybe a 3. I have
What's
zero
your
confidence in myself.
What-
I
where's-
don't know. I just feel like everybody I talk to instantly, they just don't want to sell something. Like that's all I think of. Like even the new people I'm talking to right now, there's like the girl that I'm talking to, she said that if I want her to sell something, she'll find someone else. Like, so, I mean, I don't even know. I feel like it's, I don't know. That part of
Is
it
this the girl that you already talked, it already signed, or?
No, that I'm still been like spending most of my day back and forth messaging.
And what is going on? She's not
She
signed
just
yet?
upfront said she doesn't want to sell anything.
Oh, okay,
So like, what do you do when you hit that roadblock? You still say,
easy.
you know,
You just introduce her to the live call. Just introduce her to the live call. This is everybody, I try to have everyone that signs on with me, I really encourage them to watch a live call because it's so great for you to really see and hear firsthand from the people who are using our products already, exactly what you can expect out of these products. Just have her listen to the call, that's it. You guys don't even have to explain the referral bonus because it's on the call, right? The referral bonus is on the call. So just get her to listen to it. That sounds
it's-
good. There's absolutely no pressure to sell. You can just use our products. That's totally fine. I'd really love for you to hop on this call. That's what everybody does while they're waiting for their products. They all hop on the call, listen to the success stories. That's it. Does that work?
And it's
Annie, you look
third-party
so
validation
stone-faced.
for Annie.
Oh God, I'm gonna screenshot these stone faces and send them to you when you're diamond. This was when you're on our first leader call. This was 10 weeks into our leader call.
And there's a lot of people, Annie, that have signed up that never wanted to sell. Like they were specifically product only, don't want to sell, and they're jewels in the company. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't let that stop me either from getting
Yeah.
people, because you never know, they may end up with a huge story that then it helps somebody and then it just kind of goes from there.
Same thing with like people starting the product and quitting and returning the product like Joanna did, who's now a diamond. Like,
Yeah.
she returned her product to Plexus and quit.
Yeah.
Don't want to bother you,
I
Annie.
planned on returning mine too.
It's
I was
good.
like 60 days, this won't work. I'm going to send mine back.
And Annie,
So, I mean,
this group right here, this core group of people, I hope you always ask those questions. That's what that chat group is for. If you're sitting there going back and forth with a girl and you're thinking in your head, oh my God, she doesn't want to do the business, she doesn't want to sell, I'm starting to panic already. That's when you come into the chat group and go, this is what's happening and I'm worried about it. What should I be doing? Is there anything different I should say? Then, or just message Ashley alone because she's your direct sponsor. But don't feel like you have to carry all that with you on your shoulders, in your mind, and be sitting there wondering what to do when the answer is around you and the support is around you. Okay? Marcy, how are you at with everything I said?
I'm feeling maybe a 4 or 5. I don't have a problem with sharing it with my team or with new people. Out of the people that are on my team, I have maybe 3 that are interested in selling. The others have been a no-go on the selling from day one, no matter how I try to present it to them. just share the information. You don't have to sell anything. But it's still a no-go for the rest of them. But for the other three, I've definitely been sending the links to and trying to encourage them more to offer the products to others.
Okay, what about the way in which I just described launching people and using the live call?
Yeah, that definitely kind of sheds a different light to it.
Perfect.
So you're sharing the same information. Like what you're saying is basically the same info in the details, but it's the way you're saying it that really comes across to someone in a different way.
Yep. And that's always going to be the case. Everything that you do, if you guys are hitting a roadblock and you're doing something the same way every single time you talk to somebody, or it's changed, but it's only changed ever so slightly, and you're still hitting a no, then you have to look at that and go, I can't say that way. This is not going over well. If I mention the word business, people shut down. If I mention the word, you just have to share. If I say it like that, people shut down. Why? Because they hear, you just have to do this. There's a sense of desperation. There's a sense of being pushed to do something. Boom, I need to lose that language. What's another way that I can talk to somebody? And here again, Marcy, I want to instill in you guys, that's what this group is about. You come to the chat group and you say, this is what I've been saying to people. It's not working. I'm not getting anywhere. The more times I do this and I get shut down, the more insecure I feel and the more roadblocked I am. And I need to change this. Anybody have any suggestions? Boom. We'll all be here to support you and walk you through how to change that. The thing that you guys have to be committed to is having the courage to make the change as best as you can, and understand that the first time you do it, you might slaughter the whole thing and it might be a failure still, but then you just have to keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing. And if you stay committed, and in this case, I have given you what I feel is a pretty foolproof way to approach people. If you stay committed to that and you practice it over and over and over in a roughly the same manner, you're going to eventually be very comfortable and confident in what you're saying. And confidence is a big part of this, right? I almost feel like the opposite of confidence becomes desperation. People feel that. And I want to share with you guys, I'll just keep this short and sweet, but I kind of had my own revelation about how I'm choosing to change my business right now. And it's not going to look the same as what you guys can do. So this isn't necessarily a teaching moment that you guys can duplicate. But when I approach people from now on, and I sign them up, I'm actually taking the approach that if they want the business, I'm gonna introduce it to them, and I'm gonna say, this is where I'm at in my business. I'm just going to share my story. I signed up for this business for Plexus for the business. I came out of a really crappy situation. I was able to take our family 6 figures in 9 months, retire my husband. We homeschool our kids. Everything was amazing. And I've loved this opportunity ever since. I only share that with you because I want you to know that this opportunity is available for anybody to do. If you're interested in that aspect of ever taking what we have and implementing it for yourself, so you can be a stay-at-home mom or you can have time freedom, let me know. I will plug you into the resources and I will act as a guide, and I will answer your questions. But you should know that from that point forward, this is a business about you stepping into it and taking the bull by the horns and using the processes that we have to run. In other words, I'm going to make it very clear to them from day one that I'm not babysitting anybody, and that's not my job. And my job is to give you the processes, plug you into the resources. And if you want it, you have to go get it from there. The reason I'm sharing that, and there's a whole other aspect of this that I could share with you too, but the reason I'm sharing that with you is to say that my own mindset took a leap forward recently, where I was like, the last 5 years, you guys know, I've already told you on the last call what it did to me. And I realized, I kind of took a step into a place where I was like, I got to keep signing people. I got to launch. I hope I can duplicate. I hope I can find my business builder, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I was the one to some degree that was carrying a certain level of desperation internally, right? Internally. But nonetheless, whatever you hold internally gets shown externally. And recently I was like, or you know what? I don't even want to go into all the reasons. There's a whole list of reasons I was like, what the hell am I doing? And I flipped the switch and we'll see where this takes me. But I have a feeling it's good. Either way, it's going to work out for me because I'm not going to dilly dally around with people who don't want it, who aren't serious. And I'm not going to babysit the ones that are. And I think what that has done for my own personal position as an ambassador even is that I've given far more credit to like what I'm doing and what I have. And so I'm sharing that with you guys to say, think about where your mindset is. And remember what you have, they need, it's not the other way around, that you are desperately hoping that they listen to you, that they pick up what you're laying down. It's like, no, you
Right.
have something very, very valuable
Agree. I
to
know.
every
Called.
person on
She
the
said she
planet.
wasn't going to be yet. And I called her
And
back.
kind of just remembering to position yourself mentally and physically meaning the confidence that you're exuding to people from a position of, if I were you, I'd be saying yes. But if you don't want to say yes, whatever, I'll go sign somebody else and I'll just keep rocking and rolling. And of course, you're always going to help that person on the health side. But I guess I just wanted to share, like, be thinking about that confidence factor, because I think a lot of times it's easy to get into the position of like worry about, can I do this? Is anyone ever going to listen to me? Okay, I will talk to this person about watching a live, but nobody's watched a live yet. And oh my gosh, are they really going to do that? Like, all of that position is going to eke out of you physically and verbally as you approach people. So always being working on that. And with that said, by the way, you guys, one of the last things I wanted to add, two last things, and they're quick. One is, there's a very, very well-known book called 21 Laws of Leadership. Gwen probably knows this. Ashley definitely knows this. It is a book that I have done a book series, book club education leadership series on many times. The first 3 years I did this business, we would teach this book all the time to new and upcoming leaders. And the reason why this is so popular, it's all over the Jewel page. Even now, I still see it being talked about, people doing leadership groups on this, is because it is a very powerful book for when it comes to what I was just talking about. It is a book about the lids that we create, the lids that limit our thinking, they limit our abilities, they impact our thoughts and our language based on fears and insecurities that we hold in our mind, belief systems that we have, and they create a lid as to the level of success that we can attain. And until we can break that lid, we won't go to that next level of success. And the 21 Laws of Leadership breaks that down. I'm saying that wrong, aren't I? 21 Laws. I might have the wrong book title, but it's, I'll double check, make sure I got the right book title, because I've read so many of Maxwell's. This is John Maxwell. In fact, I have one sitting right here, but failing forward. But I wanted to offer that up to you guys. It's actually a little thin book. Ashley, have you read this book about the lids, John Maxwell's book? Or done? I don't think she's actually listening. Sorry. Oh, are you? Do
Sorry, I
you
have it on mute because my kids are being loud.
do you remember teaching about the lids, the laws and the lids by John Maxwell? I used to do this training a lot back in the day.
Yeah, I can't think of what it.
Okay. Well, all
Yeah, I
I'm
know what you're
asking-
talking about.
If any of you have any interest in doing this book, there's a workbook that goes along with it. It's not actually me teaching. It's just, we would all read the book together. We would all follow the workbook. And it helps. The reason why it's so popular is because it really brings a lot of breakthrough to a lot of people. It's a lot of aha moments like, oh my gosh, I am doing this. And oh my gosh, I need to stop. And so that kind of thing comes out of this book. So if any of you want to do that, just you can talk about it in the chat group and we can do that. And then there's two things I'm going to leave off the table. And the last thing is blue shirt vision. So Ashley and Gwen know the story. I'll make it really, really, really fast. But in about 3 years ago, Annie and Marcy, this one's more for you. I stepped into a store with my sister to shop for the mother of the bride's dress for her daughter, which is my niece, getting married. And for shits and grins, I tried on a couple of ball gowns just for fun. And one of the ball gowns was absolutely insanely stunning. And I was like overwhelmed. I've never seen myself look like that before. And I'm looking in the mirror and my sister and my niece are like, that is insane. And I felt like I heard God say, that's your gown for gala. And this isn't just a kind of moment, like I've had these moments before. I know it was God. So it was also a time frame where my team was doing very little. We were not in any momentum at all. And I've never won gala. So gala is one of the top prizes for convention. And I've had years where my team is putting on hundreds of people a month and I never won gala. Even during super high tide, I've never won gala. And I'm standing there in the mirror going, okay, my team's not exactly on right now. They're not on fire. We don't really have money to be spending excess because I'm the only breadwinner, right? And it was not a good part of my season. And if I buy this dress and bring it home, my husband's going to think I'm crazy for spending this money. It's ridiculous. But I swore I had heard his voice. So I bought the dress and I tried it on and I took a picture of myself in the dress and I put it in my bedroom because I said to God, like, dude, you're the one that told me to buy this dress. And I don't know what you were doing because I don't know how I'm going to get to gala with a team that's not moving very much right now. And so every night I started going to bed and visualizing myself in this gown. I visualized myself at the gala. I visualized myself on stage, actually receiving my emerald jewel with this gown on and things like that. I did this every night. Sometimes I woke up in the morning and I did this. And I don't know how much you guys have really honed in on like the energy behind visualization, but it's definitely a real thing. And we were 30 days before the end of the contest. So I still had 30 days to go on the contest. I not only won gala, but I won the next award, which was like a $2,000 check. And I just sat there going, I don't understand this. And I didn't understand it. It was wicked crazy because I didn't change any of my leadership. I didn't change my daily activities. I was doing the same thing I still do today, and I won gala. And so what I want to just throw as an idea is, and this kind of came out of that emerald post that I did. I think most of you saw it. I had a sapphire blue shirt on when I did that emerald post. Do you guys remember that? That was not planned at all, by the way. Zero plan there. But everybody kept saying, ooh, that sapphire looks good on you. And I was like, I need to print that picture out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to print that picture out and I'm going to do the same visualization. And the beauty behind this, and maybe the key behind this, even with the gala thing, in my mind, I really didn't care if I won gala. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just like, this is the only way I can think of to make it to gala because I sure as heck ain't gonna make this happen. So I just like gave it up to God. And so there's no real anxiety around that, right? If you post a picture of yourself at the level you want to be at, and you pray over it and you give it to God, then there's no real stress involved. You just are assuming, you're saying, hey, I'm going to get up and work every day, but ultimately I'm going to get this based on giving it over to you. That kind of concept. If you're not a God believer, make it through about energy. And besides just visualizing yourself, this is what I did, you guys. I told you I've made myself at the gala, and I made myself the stage. It's not only seeing yourself there, but it's actually like getting your mind into a place of feeling it so you can feel it. So you have to come up with an idea of, like, let's say it's going Ruby for Gwen. Some things that I thought of earlier today are like, you get those congratulation things from corporate. So it's visualizing yourself pulling that congratulations out and having it say Ruby. And the way you can do that is you can either take the one you have for silver and put a piece of paper over it that says Ruby and hang that sucker on your bedroom wall, or you can photocopy it and write it all in there. That's one idea. When you close your eyes, you're visualizing yourself opening that piece of paper and it says Ruby, and Gwen is a Ruby ambassador. You can put yourself into a piece of clothing that's Ruby color, buy yourself a piece of jewelry, or visualize yourself getting a piece of jewelry that you're going to buy yourself when you go to Ruby. Whatever that thing is, I would have a picture of it and I would visualize it on yourself every single day, and at night for sure, and in the morning if possible, and actually take yourself to that place. Like, really see yourself as if it's already happened. Are you guys open to that?
Yeah, that hits home for me because today I listened to a video. It was shared in that Jules chat, the Melodies in. I don't know if y'all saw it in there or listened to it,
I didn't.
but it's about praising for me, with God. It's about praising and thanking Him for the things that you don't already have yet, that you will have. So instead of praying and asking for them, it's thanking Him already, as if you already have it, and praising Him.
You
So
guys, right now, and we'll see what happens here. First of all, that is how I got the house I have right now. And if you all could just come here, I could transplant you here. If you knew anything about me, you would be like, what in the heck? How did he find such a perfect match? And when I went on my walk today, my 5-mile walk, that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't understand it. I don't really understand the last 5 years. They're probably the hardest for me to walk through. I probably was brought to my knees more than anything else I've experienced. And I've gone through a lot of crap with my life-threatening medical diagnoses and treatments for 4 years, and an abusive husband, and lots of bad things, right? But the last 5 years, I swear to God, he had a mission to just tear me down as far as he possibly could. And today I was walking and I was talking to him out loud while I'm walking. Thank God we live in the country, nobody around. And I was like, I really don't know that I fully understand what you were doing to me, or if that's just how much you had to shake me to get me to let go of control. And was a lot like Ashley. If there's anybody to compare myself to on this call, it would be Ashley, and very hardcore control freak. And that's the only thing I could think of, is like, he literally had to shake me that hard to let go, because everything would worry me, which then makes me think about Annie and Gwen. Don't know you as well, Marcy, but both you and Gwen worry about everything. And I also was at that place. And so I was just talking to him about that, and I was telling him, like, I could not have picked this house or imagined that this house on this road in this most perfect place could even exist. I definitely wouldn't have found it on my own. So there was that part. But the other thing that I'm doing right now is, I'm not sure if Annie and Marcy know this, but my life-threatening medical diagnosis supposedly has come back. So my mass has started to grow again, or at least that's what they think they saw in the first MRI. So I am working on getting insurance to go to the hospital that I need to go to. And in the meantime, I am doing these walks every day, almost every day, and I am visualizing and I am thanking God for removing I'm calling it a roadblock. I'm calling it obstructions. And I'm actually thanking him for removing obstructions mentally and physically, because I feel like both of them have been going on for a long time. And I'm just saying, when it comes to my AVM, or I'm not going to say that, I don't have an AVM. When it comes to the obstructions that have been in my leg, I have literally just been saying, thank you for your presence in my life that took me down a different journey, that taught me things I needed to learn. And without those obstructions at that time, I would have never gone down this journey. I wouldn't have learned the things I've learned. So thank you for that. And then, and I'm saying, I appreciate you, but I no longer need you. And then I'm literally saying, just melt them away. Just melt them away, God. Melt them away. And that's how I walk. I'm just like, melt them away. And as I say that, I'm like closing my eyes and I'm visualizing my leg perfectly the way it should have been created by God. This might sound crazy to you guys, but if you ever get into learning about spirituality and energy and visualization to the degree that I have for the last 5 years, which is hugely in depth, these things actually work. and I am a believer, so I know it works because of God, God's existence and the power behind all of that. But whether you believe in God or you just understand that we're made of energy and your mind has that much power, visualization and mantra, prayer, repetition in your words and your thoughts is what creates your life. So I would just really encourage you guys to think about that and commit to that too. You don't have to do any of this, but it's definitely things that work. And it's things that other jewels have. I mean, the reason I'm on the road that I'm on is because the other jewels. I did not make any of this up. I did not start this journey 5 years ago towards spirituality or energy thinking or positive thinking or understanding that my mind controls my life. Like, I didn't understand any of that 5 years ago. I threw myself around a bunch of other jewels who all started talking about it. And I went, what in the heck is this stuff? Literally, I knew nothing about it 5 years ago, but I know plenty about it now. And it's definitely real and it works really well. So I would consider doing that with your next rank advancement. You can even do that with like seeing yourself as a confident person. You can just go to bed at night and visualize yourself being that girl who confidently opens up a conversation with somebody about sharing in a way that's exciting and passionate and like, this is the best thing. I have loved it. I know you'll love it. Helping other people is going to be great. Your friends will be so excited you shared this with them. I cannot wait to see how many lives you impact. Visualize yourself being that confident because that's what will eventually occur. All right, I'm done. Got a little bit long into that. I actually just wanted to give you the idea, but does anybody have anything to say, or does that resonate with anybody? I know it does with Gwen, but she said it.
Well, I think it was absolutely beautiful and very heart touching.
Thank you, Marcy.
Yeah,
Awesome.
truly.
Sometimes when I babble, I'm like, are people like rolling their eyes at me?
No, having the faith of a mustard seed, right?
Definitely. Annie, is that new to you to hear about visualization, or is that something you already was old hat for you?
I don't know. I don't really visualize things that are going to happen.
Okay.
I'm kind of,
Practice
I
it.
kind of usually just have so much going on that I'm just like stuck in the now. I know that's kind of horrible, but that's how I
Not
am.
necessarily being in the now is a good thing too, but that's why I said do it at bedtime. Because if everybody is asleep, then I used to, in my old, when I did the gala thing, the picture literally was taped to the wall directly across from where my eyeballs were when I laid down. And I have a nightstand light, so I would turn that light on. I even told my husband, like, if he'd be like, turn the light out, I'd be like, I'm doing my visualization and I'll just be 5 minutes. And he'd be like, okay, no problem. And I would just look at that thing and then close my eyes and I'd visualize it. And if I ever got off track, because you know your mind wanders, I'd open my eyes back up, I'd look at that picture, I'd visualize again, I'd turn my light out. But I mean, if everybody's in bed, you can take 5 minutes to do that. You, Annie, you should try this for like 3 months every single night and see what happens. Pick anything you want. It doesn't even have to do with your rank advancement. Pick like getting a new car. I don't care. Like pick something and try it. You'd be surprised how many things will show up in your life. It's like crazy weird. Does anybody else on here have a story like that? Just out of curiosity.
I gotta run and tell my daughter goodnight.
Yeah, okay, we'll get going. I just was curious. If any of you have ever tried this and you have a story about it, just drop it in the chat group because I'd love to hear it.
Night, ladies.
Good night.
Good night. Thank
Night.
you.